good chain requires all of its pieces to be strong and work perfectly together. And with our journey towards the peak of the deliverability mountain, it's been the same so far. If you ignore or even are careless while performing any of the steps, your deliverability may be ruined. But if you haven't done that and actually persevered through every obstacle on our journey thus far, you still have the potential of infinite deliverability. And what's more, you're really close. So, welcome back to D&D. Let's finish what we've started. Right now, we're standing before a huge rocky wall which represents the ascending process. Climbing it is long and monotonous, requires slow, deliberate movement, constant adjustments, and keeping your contact. So take out your ice axe and start preparing. Let's go over the best sanding practices. So what even is there to take care of during the sanding process? Isn't it just one click? Well, not really. Even if you have your technical setup all correct and your email content perfected, there's still one final piece of the puzzle: the contact base. Yes, right now your deliverability relies on the quality of your prospect list. And while obviously it's a complex topic, here's what I learned so far. Firstly, the cold email game is not pay to win. On various, mostly sketchy websites, you can buy huge, ready-made lists of email addresses that you technically could send emails to, but please, don't even waste your mental space thinking about it. This technique very much reminds me of like-for-like practices on social media. It may seem like a good idea when you're just starting out and don't know any better, but what really happens is that your engagement rate is basically non-existent. And that's what really matters here. Remember, you're not just looking for people to see your message, get some info and move on. It's all about conversion, engagement, responses, call it however you will. And having clear, deliberately chosen profiles on your prospect list is key. In other words, collect contacts for a specific campaign. You don't want your prospects clicking on that dreadful "mark as spam" button. You can't really get around that. You have to look around social media and your social circles for people that you feel would be interested in your offer. Truly. And even if you're using email automation software, pick your prospects carefully. And don't just guess email addresses. Your deliverability is most important. Okay, right now, I hope that you understand the issue at hand here. I've been talking for a while, so we are already at the midway point of the rock climb. You probably didn't even realize, but there's a problem. I was really worried about this moment because I found it really difficult. In fact, this moment, this spot is exactly the point where I decided to turn back. Yes, I don't know what lies ahead, but I don't want to leave you hanging, not after all we've been through. So even before starting our climb, I asked someone for help. This person is one of the top cold email experts I can recall and a perfect choice for our situation. To give you a helping hand from the top of the mountain, as she's been there so many times, here comes Margaret, the product owner at Woodpecker. We had a quick talk about prospects and overall deliverability, so here's that. I hope it helps. Okay, so what are your rules for building a solid prospect base?
Okay, so from my side, the word "your" is the most important. So actually you need to be aware what is the source, from where you get the contacts. So don't go into direction, I'll buy the best list you can from somewhere over the internet and stuff like this. Then you're exposed to spam traps. Then actually the risk got higher than what you get from it. If you have enough time to invest in manual prospecting, that's always quality-based, that's always a good thing. If you need a bit of support, there are tools that'll help you with this, but your prospect list is a good list, not someone from the internet.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, for reference, what do you think is a good size for a prospect list?
Okay, so it's a short one, but it's a complex one. It depends what kind of product or type of thing that you want to offer you have, because that's your niche. And fortunately, if you have a good prospecting list, you have your niche. I can't say that it's like 100, 1,000, 1 million. Well, 1 million, most likely it's not the best prospect list at all. But in general, it depends, how much you really can trust on the prospects you have there. So there is not like number. It depends what you do, what you sell, or what you offer in general. So it's more quality based. I would say that if someone offers you a list of million record of whatever that is, don't go there. But anything, what sounds reasonable for the group of people you're targeting, probably it's the right thing.
Okay, so now how can our viewers know when they should change their prospect list? Like, what can they look for?
Okay, so always a good indication is the open rate, because this is how you see if your prospects are actually interested in whatever you're saying. Well, reply rate is the ultimate level that you want to achieve. Then bounce rate. Bounce rate is always an indication that something wrong is going on. It's not like 100% prospect list, but it's worth checking that out. So interest rate of your responses, then the open rate, the reply rate, and then checking if there are bounces there.
Okay, got it. And finally, from your experience, what is something that people always get wrong when it comes to deliverability? What's like your best tip?
Okay, so that's actually my favorite, and I could write a book on it. So there are no shortcuts, or not always. So it's like, simply speaking, if you have 9 women, they will not deliver birth over 1 month, and well, at least scientifically speaking. And this is a bit similar with deliverability. If you need to do warm-up, you need to do it. It's not like 10 tips to do faster warm-up over 2 weeks. It's not gonna work this way. If you have fresh domain, just let it stay there, get reputation, and then go further. So if you really care about your messages going to the main inbox, just trust the process and actually do the steps, not just look for things that you may skip in a part.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Last crevice, last push, and we've made it. You've made it. We're basically at the peak of the deliverability mountain. We are almost done. Now you can see something out there in the distance, in this mystical fog, glowing bright orange. It seems like it's meant for you, just for you. It must be the scroll of perfect deliverability. But still, this reward can wait a bit. Your reward, in the form of clicking the send button, can also wait just a tiny bit longer. Take care of your prospect list and come back here afterwards. And in the meantime, take cover behind the largest rock you can see, because a storm is coming. A storm of your emails in your prospects' inboxes. Just one final step and all your emails will be done and delivered. So, see you then.